How do I edit that now? Hey, how you doing? I'm doing a betting stream, pure betting now. I gotta edit this though. For some reason, I don't want to be using that. Why is that change? Save. That should be coming up now, not that. Okay. Hey, how you doing, guys? Okay, I'm doing a pure betting stream now. We're going to be focusing on just picks, and that's it. CL, welcome, man. Cool. What the heck? Why is that coming up? Oh, there we go. It's first time doing this. Give me a little bit of time. Okay. Can you hear me all right? Everybody can hear me all right? Okay, let's get back to this now. Okay. So, get your live chat up here. Can you guys live chat a little bit so I know I got you? Oh, that's not it. There we go. Okay, here we go. I got you. Okay, let's go. Washington, Columbus. You guys put down in the chat what you think you got on this game. Saros is in net for the Predators, but I don't like that game. Since you brought it up, Doug, Philadelphia isn't it the Giroux retirement game tonight? I mean, Philadelphia is going to be playing hard here. They don't want to lose for Big G tonight. This is going to be a tough game, man. I'm not putting my money in on a team that's playing for a legend like that in a night like tonight. I'm not touching that game. Philadelphia or nothing for me. You're going to leave for the game soon. Oh, you're going to see that game? This is a Giroux 1000 game as a Flyer night, right? Like, man, oh man, I'm not touching that game. I could see Nashville, like I could see Philadelphia getting all emotional and stuff and then not coming out strong. And Nashville, they need this win. But honestly, I think maybe the best play here is like Philadelphia. Maybe the under. I think maybe Philadelphia plus 0.5 first period. I don't know what you're getting on that. I'd have to look it up. Let me see if I can get up my... Philadelphia plus 0.5 first period, I think, would be a pretty good play there. Hopefully I don't have to register here. NHL. I think I think I'd go Philadelphia. Just, you get 250. It's a killer spot. First period, what are you getting for that? Plus 1.5, plus 0.5. You're getting minus 140. You're getting minus 140. I guess I should probably switch this to American odds, or you guys are going to be all confused. American odds. Minus 140 for Philadelphia. Like, yeah, they're going to be coming out hard. I think that's a good play. Even Philadelphia money line first period. Like, you would think. Now, it depends on how you look at it. You have that big celebration. You know, maybe Philadelphia comes out a little like unfocused in the first period. But if I'm going to play anything here, I think Philadelphia is going to play hard, and it's a tight game. Maybe a draw too. This would be a good draw. That would be a good draw game, I think, as well. Keep that chat going, guys, so I know who's in and who's not. But I think a draw on that Philadelphia-Nashville game might not be bad, because Nashville is, you know, fighting for a playoff spot. They are up a little bit on a few teams there. I mean, it's not desperate, but it's not great either. Like, and the bad thing about this Nashville game as well is I call it an annoying spot. It's an annoying spot. You have they've just played. Let me look it up here. They just played at home. Yeah, they just played at home against Pittsburgh. Had a big win there. And then going to play Philadelphia. And now going to Toronto. And then going back home to play Toronto. So it's you try to put it in your head as you would feel as you're a player. You just finished beating Pittsburgh, okay? You're feeling good about yourself, and that's good. Now you're going to Philadelphia, where you're going to be part of a legend being honored in their home arena, like that you're going to, CL, for one game. And then you're all of a sudden going back home again to play a game against Toronto. You got to know that Philadelphia is going to be playing hard there. Maybe like there's almost like something inside of you that feels like you're spoiling the party. Like, you got to find some sort of hate for Philadelphia here to really ruin their party, like hardcore. Like, you have to find I think they have to find a big reason to want to ruin this party for Philadelphia. And honestly, I think it's a little bit difficult to come up with that. I think it's a little bit difficult to come up with that for any team to do this. Like, if it was like, I think Philadelphia is the play there. I really do. I think Philadelphia is the play there. Yeah, you might be going to a winner tonight, I think. If I had to take a pick, what I might do is I might take Philadelphia puck line and parlay it with something. The Dallas-Montreal game, I'm not touching that game at all. I think I'm staying away from that game completely. Montreal, Allen's going to be in net. Dallas has been so inconsistent, it's freaking crazy. They outplayed Toronto in the last game. They couldn't get it by that rookie goaltender. Yeah, there's no way I'm taking the Preds on the money line there. No way. No way. I'm not touching that game. I'm not touching the Preds in that game. It's either Philadelphia or a pass. It just I'm not gonna go on a team. I'm not gonna bet on a team that's playing in that kind of a game against when a legend is being retired like that. I just it doesn't make sense to me to do that. They could win that game, but it's not a good spot for them at all. It's not a good spot. I don't think the Leafs Canes go over. No, I don't. I think I mean it could if that kid implodes on the second game, because quite often these kids they'll have like a really good game the first one and then just get crushed. I'm on Carolina ML. I like Carolina money line. But I think Carolina's on a back-to-back here too, right? They got to play Washington tomorrow. So if they get up early, and Carolina is known to do that, I think they're going to settle in, play strong defense. Do you want to go run and gunning with Toronto? Do you want to play goal for goal with Toronto? I wouldn't. That's about the only way they're going to, I mean, not the only way, but that's the best way Toronto's going to beat you in this game. So I think Carolina tries to play a really good road game, frustrate them early, like they do. Be right on, anticipating their every move in the defensive zone. Have their confidence be down after that game against Dallas. This is different than playing. Toronto won against Dallas, who has a difficult time anticipating in the defensive zone, especially without Heiskanen in net, or Heiskanen on their back end. But Carolina, they're getting Smith back tonight, which isn't that big of a deal. But you got Pesce, Slavin, Shea, much better defensive core than Dallas does. And Anderson's been playing very good. And what am I talking about? This is Anderson coming back to Toronto. Carolina all day. I'm taking Carolina. I might even up my pick on this. I mean, Anderson wants to win this game hardcore. And I don't think he's going to be, I think he's going to come in feeling really confident and cocky. And Toronto, I think, quite often when you're playing like a goaltender that you played before, you're playing a goaltender that played on your team. I don't know. It takes the edge off the shots. It's sort of like, I think Toronto could almost feel bad for Anderson here because, it's their buddy and all that kind of stuff like that. Whenever I'm doing picks, I always try to look for what team is going to find the hate here. Hockey is a who can find the hate more than the other quite often type game, unless you're talking about like Tampa Bay last night against Seattle, where the team Tampa is just so much more skilled, then they're going to win that game. But in a game like this, which team is going to find the hate? And I think Carolina can find the hate here. Carolina is going to be wanting to win this game for Anderson in Toronto. And I love Carolina because they try to shove it down other teams' throats. They're in a position Carolina's in a position right now. Well, I mean, they all should be, but Carolina does it, I think, better than anybody. That they're going to send a message come the playoffs to these guys. Like, they may have to play Toronto in the playoffs, and they don't want to be giving Toronto any confidence at all if it ever comes to that they play Toronto in here. And I just think they're going to be playing for Anderson balls out tonight. I would even go as far as to say I'll take Carolina. If you want to really put a pick out there, if you really want to just throw a little bit, take Carolina on the puck line tonight. Carolina reverse puck line or in regulation. Take Carolina in regulation tonight. I don't think they're losing this game. I like that game a lot. I might even throw more on it. The more I talk about it here, the more I think I'm on that. You think the Leafs-Canes game goes over? I just don't see Carolina going back and forth with Toronto in this game. I'm probably not going to bet the side here because that rookie goaltender could implode tonight, and then you're right, it would go over, I would imagine. But I think maybe Toronto gets a little more confidence in that kid and doesn't do what they did last game and tries to play a little more offensive against Carolina, and then it could. But I just think Anderson's going to shut it down tonight. I really do. This is a statement game for Carolina, for Anderson, for whatever. Imagine being a goaltender that went through what Anderson did. This is primarily a pick stream, but we can talk about that. There's no rules here. Yeah, I got Canes ML. Yeah, I'll take Canes ML too. I probably won't throw the reg in, but I'm pretty confident about it. Where do I think Owen Tippett is going? If they want to really go for it, he's going to Arizona. No, don't leave, Glenn. We can talk about this as well. It's a great question. No worries, buddy. If they want to talk, in fact, I can even put what you just said. I can apply it to some picks, Glenn. So thank you very much for that. And actually, why don't we just talk about the Florida game right now with that in mind? Tippett is not playing in the AHL tonight, so he is going to be moved. And the question is what are they acquiring? Now, there's been talk about Giroux, and I honestly don't get that Giroux thing. Like, do they need that? Do they need Giroux, really? Let's look at Florida here. There was talk about Giroux. And, okay, Giroux's going to play probably wing. And you got Mason Marchment, Huberdeau, Verhaeghe. He's going to take Sam Bennett's spot, and you're going to put him down there. I mean, it would be sick if they did that. And I don't know how the cap space would work or whatever. It would be crazy sick for the depth on that team. They picked up Sherratt. I think they would like to have, honestly, I think they would like to have Radko Gudas and Sherratt play together or something like that. I would hope that it's Chychrun that they're doing. Hi, Sports and Entertainment. I would hope that they're going for Chychrun. But maybe it's a crazier trade that we haven't thought about yet. Maybe it's something that's not really been out there right now. But I'll tell you what, going to the picks part of this, applying this to picks, the Florida Panthers, Bennett was a fantastic pickup for them, for sure, no doubt about it. And I think they when they got Bennett, they kind of promised him he was going to be a center and they were going to let him play an offensive game. And I love Bennett for the playoffs. Like in Calgary, Bennett was one of the best playoff performers they had. And coming in now, he's going to be a playoff performer again. I suppose you could take Giroux, play him in the middle with Marchment and Reinhardt, and then you'd have Huberdeau, Bennett, Duclair, Marchment, Giroux, Reinhardt, Verhaeghe, Barkov, and what about Anton Lundell when he comes back on the lineup? I don't know. It would be like just a disgusting amount of depth on the Florida Panthers if they went and got Giroux. So it would be Owen Tippett and plus for Giroux. And honestly, I'm not sure who else it would be. I mean, I would want Mason Marchment, but I don't know if they'd be willing to do that. Like maybe Mason Marchment and but no, they don't have a first. They don't have a first. My lean is that they're still in on Chychrun. Imagine if they went and go, okay, they went Tippett. They've got prospects. Alexei Hippianemi or Denisenko and a first. That's or something like that. What about their defense? Maybe Matt Kierstadt. Matt Kierstadt, Tippett, and their first in 2003, which would be a late first. I wouldn't want to give that pick up for Chychrun, but I guess you'd be looking at it as if we're going to be picking with our 2003 pick, what we want is a Chychrun. So now you get a Chychrun. And you'd be getting Weegar, Ekblad, Forsling, Chychrun, Sherratt, and Montour as your top six. I mean, that is disgusting. That is disgusting. I think if he's going to go, I think that's where he would go. Now, I want to look at how that applies to the picks tonight. I would say, wouldn't it be a big boost to you as a team that when you find out that Tippett is going to be in the AHL, is not going to be playing tonight, that likely means, first of all, you just got Sherratt. Second of all, now they're looking to add more. That would be a big boost to me to play hard tonight. I might even go, I talked myself off of Florida. I think I'm going to go back to Florida again. I didn't talk all. I had Florida in regulation and Florida money line. I had them both. And then I started thinking, well, Florida is not the greatest on the road, but I really don't like Vegas. And I think with all this extra hype going on right now, tonight, I mean, he's been good enough, right? And I mean, it's not like Vegas has. It's not like Vegas has great goaltending right now. I don't think Lehner's back. It's going to be Brisebois, and he hasn't been holding it up as a regular. He just never has. I think it's Brisebois, right? Let's see if there's any. Yeah, there hasn't been any confirmation of anything right now. It's who does Florida play tomorrow too? Florida is on a back-to-back too. I think they play Anaheim tomorrow though. Florida, yeah, Anaheim tomorrow. So they'll probably play Bob tonight. If I were them, actually, I would play Spencer Knight tonight. Spencer Knight's been really good. You said how you missed the W on that, and it says how's everybody doing, and it won't show it. I gotta change. I'll put it in there. Show. Everybody, I'm doing great. Yeah, how is everybody doing? So more about where Tippett might go. I mean, there's like a lot of talk is about those two things, Giroux and Chychrun. And I imagine Tippett could be in either one of those conversations, for sure. But maybe if the Columbus Blue Jackets were out of it, maybe more like maybe Anaheim might be interested in him. Maybe Lindholm. Maybe Anaheim's having a tough time getting Lindholm done, but he's a left defenseman. I think they're looking for a right defenseman. I heard about Giroux, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think Lindholm now because they already got their left defenseman. I don't think Detroit's got anything that they're going to be interested in. Buffalo, not for Tippett anyways. Like if Tippett's going, it's going to be a big name coming back. It's going to be, they're not giving him up for like just a 5-6 guy. Possibly Chicago. And I know a deal involving Connor Murphy is injured right now. So is Chychrun, but he'll be coming back. Something like that. That would be another thing. What's his cap in years left? He's on a beautiful contract, like $4.5 million for 3 years. That's the other thing that makes him so valuable, Chychrun right now. He's just on a beautiful contract. I'll look up exactly what it is. And like his numbers right now don't look that great, but he's been playing injured all year, obviously. And since he's come back from injury, he's been on point. Yeah, 4.5 for 2 more years, for this year or next year. And then they're going to have to, wait. No, sorry, 4 years. I mean, I would be going pretty hard after that. I think that's what it is. I honestly think they're going after Chychrun. They've been talking about it the whole time. Tippett's on yeah, I know. It's a crazy good contract. And Florida has been saying that they're asking too much. And I'm like, that usually tells me like they're just trying to par it down a little bit. But how can you be asking too much? Chychrun is like, could be in Norris talks down the road. He's every bit as good as Weegar, maybe better. He's on a killer contract. He's young. I mean, it's going to be pricey. It's going to be pricey. I would want Luosterainen back. I'd want Tippett, Luosterainen, for sure. I love Luosterainen. So I'd want Luosterainen, Tippett, and next year's first. Something like that. Now, only a dream in mini. Oh, were you one of the mini guys? They used to come in all the time and we haven't seen you around for a while. We talk about you guys a lot. So, anyways, as far as that pick is concerned, I think I'm heavier on Florida. That's why I did this, because I find that I do better when I talk it over. Give me the next game you want to talk about as far as picks, or if you want to talk more about that. You're one of the mini guys. If we haven't seen you in a while, buddy, where have you been? I know I got in a lot of trouble from you and a couple of guys that were in here before because I was saying I didn't think Mini was a contender. But they're not. I hated to say it. I didn't hate on Mini. I want Mini to do well. I love Kaprizov. I love a lot of their players. I just didn't think they were a contender this year. And mostly was because of goaltending. Caps, Blue Jackets. Okay. Caps, Blue Jackets. I want confirmation that Samsonov is in, and I imagine he is because Washington's playing Carolina tomorrow. And I'm not backing Washington at minus 200 with Samsonov in net against just about anybody. Hey, Oriole, how you doing? Welcome. I'm not backing the Capitals with Samsonov and net against anybody. It's not a bad spot for them. I could definitely see them winning this game. Korpisalo is going to be in. I mean, I know it's a 6.5, but it's probably got to be an over. I like Marner shots on goal. Yeah, that's a good one. Props. Have I conferred with my old buddy? Who is that? You talking Brian? I should do more props like that, but I leave that I don't know if you guys watch the Ice Guys. I check in there every once in a while. They're killer for the props. What do I think about Price? I think he'll come back and play it day by day. I imagine that's what he's doing. But anyways, I like Columbus plus over the total 2.5, over 2.5 on this game. As long as Samsonov is in net, I'll keep on going at that. Every once in a while, Samsonov just goes off, but Columbus has been putting up some pretty good. They can score. That's one thing that they've shown that they can do is score. I also do like the over here. I don't know because Korpisalo is terrible too. You got two terrible goaltenders. I would think that Washington would be okay with running with Columbus in this game. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I think Price is going to come back, get healthy, and then take it day by day, buddy. I think he's probably going to stay in Montreal. It looks like they've got some heart back there in Montreal now, and they're playing as a team. They're playing hard as a team. And Gorton really was hired. He's a guy that's hired to do a quick rebuild. So he's always stressed that he wanted to be with Montreal. So I imagine that's where he'll stay. I imagine his value is just not high enough, I think, for a trade because of all that's gone on. At least until he's played a full year injury free, and then you worry about that. You saw Vantage. I saw Samsonov expected. I don't know why they would play. Why the heck would they play Vanacek here? I mean, you got Carolina tomorrow. I know it's going to be Ranta tomorrow, but really? I got Ilya Samsonov expected. And Joonas Korpisalo is terrible. I got to figure over the total here. Do I think Max? I don't know why Toronto would do that. Just because his dad played there? Like, Toronto never ceases to surprise me. But honestly, the guy has been a problem everywhere he's gone. So I don't really see why they would want that sort of a problem there. Like, it could be a really bad situation if he doesn't fit in the room there in Toronto. It could be really bad. Yeah, I'm not. I'm off of that game, the Rangers Islanders. So, anyways, you asked for that. I think it's gonna. I'd go with the over, and I would go. I'd probably lean Washington to win the game. But I like Columbus plus 2.5. They should be able to pot three against Samsonov, I think. Uh, and this is one that Columbus needs more than anything right now. If they have any chance at all. Let's see the spot that they're in. What did Columbus do here? By the way, bpalpicks.com. I'm giving you free picks here. So if you can get, if you'd like to support me and my family, bpalpicks.com. Just Google it. Actually, I'll put it in the chat. Here, just wait. This, you get a 2-day free trial. Just go check it out there. You get a 2-day free trial for free. Just go over there and have fun for a couple of days. I can talk to you about these picks every day like that. What do I think about the Ben Sherratt trade? I think they overpaid, but I get it at the same time. Ben Sherratt is really not that great defensively. People think he is because he's big, but he's not. Offensively, he's only an average defenseman, a 5'6". So they gave up a lot to get, but the thing is, his value goes up a lot in the playoffs because he does bring the pain. He helps other people's analytics by his physical play. If he plays extremely physical and he hurts people in the playoffs, there is value to that. But I still think it's an overpay. Yeah, he has terrible AHL numbers. Quite often, rookies will just go like out of their heads the first game that they play. It's like they're in another world, and the pressure just seems to go off of them. Especially if they hit it the right way mentally with them, and they're just happy to be there, and they go and they just go off. But often the second game, it's a little different. It starts to sink in where they are, what's going on, all of those sort of things like that. Columbus played last night, that's right, in Ottawa. So, yeah, I think I'm leaning the Capitals here, and I'm leaning the over. I would even consider Capitals team total over, too. I don't know what you're getting on that at 3.5, but I think there'll be a lot of goals scored in that game. If I had one word about the Habs, I would say pride right now. Marty St. Louis has built the pride back up in that team now. They're playing like they remember what the Canadians are and who they are right now. Besides that, quick rebuild. That's 2 words, rebuild. But there should be a new word like quick build, all one word. Watch for them to do a very quick rebuild there. They're going to grab a couple picks. They got a whole. Bergeron did do a good job collecting second rounders and prospects and stuff like that before he took off. And now they're going to get a really good one this year. I think they're going to try to get a really good one next year. And they are then going to knock it out of the park after that. I think that's it. 2 quick bad years, and then they're going to go for free agents and become good. Florida is 0-2 in trades so far. So what? That's the Sherratt trade, and what other one? While we're talking about everything else, give me a game for tonight, and I'll cap it for you. I'm not going to be doing this every day, you know. So get over to bpalpicks.com where you can get all of these picks. I'll tell you yesterday what I had yesterday. I'm up 100 units. I'm up 100. We're up 100 units over at BPAL Picks this month already. 100 units this month. So you really want to get yourself over there. It's worth every penny if you decide to do it. I just put it in the chat. You get 2 free days, man. Right now, 2 free days to go check it out. And you can cancel anytime. Oh, yeah, Vetrano. Yeah. I don't think they were going to get more for Vetrano. But I thought the Rangers did a wicked job at taking some bargain player in Vetrano. Vetrano is not very good defensively, but he's got a wicked shot, man. Like, that was a beautiful pickup by them, I think, for a 4th round pick. But the thing is, I don't know if they would have got any more anywhere else because his overall game is not strong, let's face it. I don't know if he could get much more anywhere else. Who's going to pony up a 3rd for him? They could end up looking really bad, though. Because if Vetrano gets the opportunity to play with some guys that can make up for his defensive shortcomings, but can help him get in the spots for that shot, they could end up looking really bad. And that might happen for the Rangers. Like, he's one of those guys that could go on a weird playoff run, like score 12 goals, like Pisani back in the day with the Edmonton Oilers. There's a good one. I should do that Bertuzzi trade video right now as well, because I think Stevie Y is pissed at Bertuzzi that he wouldn't get vaxxed and all of that kind of stuff like that. It would have to be a hell of a lot more than Marino, though. I don't know, because I can't see Letang. Why would I can't see Letang. It just doesn't make sense for them. Yeah, Vetrano's got a little pest in him too, for sure. You play the Tim Hortons hockey pick? Okay. It would have to be more than Marino. But I could see Marino in that deal, and a lot of that does make some sense. I could see Pittsburgh wanting a guy like Bertuzzi for sure. What the heck would that be? What the heck would that be? Let's take a look at that. Because they don't have any prospects worth a darn. But then Detroit's looking for guys that can play right now. So let me bring up Pittsburgh here. Marino's a right defenseman, making 4.4 till 2007. I think the weird issue here, though, with Pittsburgh would be they'd have to find a defenseman to go as well, because they would need they would be weak on the right side pretty bad if they got Marino. Jeez. Maybe, I know they've been trying to trade Kasperi Kapanen, but I wouldn't want to do that deal if I were them. Maybe. Wow, that's interesting. That is an interesting idea. What they would have to give up for that? Because I don't know how long it's going to be before Bertuzzi can play in Canada which affects their value quite a bit. You can be rest assured Stevie Yzerman will get a return that'll blow your mind. I'm going to say like I would have to see that trade because honestly, I couldn't put it together where they would do. What is Bertuzzi a righty? Let's take a look here. Is Bertuzzi a righty? Well, it's a rumor worth looking at. It makes sense. It's a rumor that makes sense. For sure. As long as it makes sense, I don't mind checking it out. Bertuzzi. Oh, he can play right or left. If he's out there, he's going to get a good return. He's 27 years old. Yeah, and I think he's going to be a free agent in 2 years. So they're obviously not being able to work out a contract with him. And I think all this stuff about not getting vaxxed and everything is probably pissed off to Stevie Y quite a bit. I think that might have just did it in for them. And you know what Stevie Y is? If he doesn't like a guy, he's going to let you know about it. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Mantha, but it wasn't working out there for him. And I'm gonna go back to my live. I'm gonna shut that off for a second and just talk to you guys. Red Wings versus Canucks. Over 6, buddy. Over 6 all day long on that one, I would think. Yeah, over 6 all day. It's just, I mean, it just doesn't go well. Like, I'm sure he is sympathetic with whatever Bertuzzi's reasons for not getting, but I think it just rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It made it difficult on the team. And Stevie Y is just going to do what's best for the team, and that's it. I mean, he's not going to get into the political stuff or whatever, but it wasn't working out. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is traded. I don't know if he'll be traded now at the deadline. Maybe it would be a good idea now because it might even affected them as far as their play lately because it's been absolutely horrible. But getting back to that pick, I take Vancouver in regulation. I mean, how do you go with Detroit ever right now? Really, how do you go with Detroit ever? Vancouver team total over for the whole game. Detroit can't keep pucks out of the net to save their life. That one game against Calgary was 3-0, but that was just what's his name going out of his head there, which he does every once in a while. But besides that, they've given up 7, 6, 9, 6, 3 against Tampa, 3, 10 in Toronto, 5 in Colorado. Like, Why you couldn't possibly do anything but think that a team's going to score more than 3.5 or 4. It's got to be over 6. Vancouver's been playing to the over, except for the game against Tampa Bay. 9 out of the last 10 games have been over for Vancouver. Bruce Boudreau has always played a high offensive game. You're not going to get him to play anything else. I got the Canucks in regulation. Or you could play the combo. Canucks money line over 6. Yeah, that would be a good idea. That'd be a good play. Just wait. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's over all day, bud. I have no idea. With the Hurdle signing, I don't know. Yeah, let's look at San Jose for a second. They're playing tonight. I guess you got to take the Sharks apparently because LA can't beat the Sharks no matter what they do. They can't beat the Sharks. They can't beat the Sharks. This could be the night that they do it. I probably don't touch that game. I hate it. I took LA last time. But let's take a look at the Sharks. I don't know what they're doing. They do have a couple. I mean, I don't mind the price at $8 million for Hurdle. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's pretty good value. I think on the open market he probably would have got more than that. I don't mind the price, but they're just going to be a middle of the road team every year. I don't get it. They got a hit on their draft picks. The good thing about them is they are pretty good at drafting. Like, who do they got coming up here? Ryan Merkley looks like he's going to be a good defenseman. But it's really William Eklund. How's he doing? William Eklund and Ozzy Weisblatt. They got to think that these guys are going to come in and contribute soon to make this deal. And actually, he hasn't been knocking it out of the park in Sweden. 1 goal in 27 games for William Eklund. Like, he's not ready yet for a while, it doesn't look like. And Ozzy Weisblatt, who they picked up 2 years ago in the first round. What's he doing now? Under a point a game in the WHL. That's not good. So what are they doing? I have no idea. I would be trading them away. What's Thomas Bordelot? 38. Maybe he's doing well. I think his father played in Montreal or St. Louis or Texas. I don't know if that's his father or not. Thomas Bordelot is putting up good points for Michigan. He drafted 38th overall. So that's a possibility there. He's 20 years old. He could play soon. But, I mean, they're not lining up with... They don't have prospects coming out of their freaking yin-yang or something to make a deal like that. I don't know. You got me. I'd love to sit down and say, Wilson, what's the plan here? What's the plan? You don't have great prospects. You just signed... you don't have great prospects. You just signed a guy to 8 years... that's going to make it less likely that you'll have prospects. What's the plan? I'd love to hear what Wilson does. What are you getting with the ML and 5.5? Oh yeah, I went cheesy on that one. I had Tampa and Reg for a big play. I did really well yesterday. Calgary first period over 0.5. Calgary puck line first period. Calgary puck line. Calgary team total over 3.5, and the full game over for, I think it was like about 20 units. I put on all of that. We hit it all. So, and then I had 4 units on Lightning and Reg, hit that, and then I had a live bet on Columbus. I don't know why I didn't over 2.5. No, I had Columbus over 2.5. There was 1 or 2 I missed yesterday, but for the most part, we nailed it all the crap yesterday. It was really good. So give me another game. But San Jose, that's not what I would be doing. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I can say. Their defense is terrible. I mean, they're so far away from being a contender, it's ridiculous. Goaltending, Reimer is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What direction are you going? You're telling me that you're going to build a team now around Couture, who's, how old is he now? Hurdle's 27. You're obviously keeping Meyer. And somehow they're going to add players to this team to make it a contender when? I don't know. Was there a no movement clause to that too? Probably. He probably got a no movement clause coming out of his yin yang too. Let's see if I can find it there. Let's see if I can find it. Owen Tippett. Yeah, here it is. A full no movement clause too. Ridiculous. All right, what's the next game we're doing there? I think it's just you and me, Doug. Oh, Mark Brown. You know what? It's like I wouldn't even do it if I was Hurdle, to tell you the honest truth. Like, he must really love San Jose, the place. Because if I'm Hurdle, I'm not even doing that deal. Why? I would be like, okay, like, I can get an 8-year deal somewhere. Why would you want to get an 8-year deal with a whole bunch of geriatric, overpaid contracts, no depth on the roster? Like, that team's going nowhere for a very long time. Like, I don't even think he's making a right move here. I don't think anybody's making the right decision there at all. He kind of took a discount to stay, too. He kind of took a discount to stay. Like, I don't see any. I don't see anything good about that deal from any direction whatsoever, except that they got a good price on him. That's it. Edmonton, Buffalo Edmonton's putting Smith in net. So I got Buffalo team total over 2.5. Smith could have a good game, I guess, but I'll take the odds on not that he won't again. Buffalo is like 7-2 on the road against Edmonton. So maybe a sliver on the money line on Buffalo there. But Edmonton really needs this game, so I'm probably going to stay off the side. But and also they play to the under a lot for some reason. I don't know why. But if Smith is in net, I can't see. I'm going to put a little bit on Buffalo to score at least 2.5 goals. Pittsburgh, St. Louis. I'm leaning to Pittsburgh here because they're missing Bozak and Thomas. St. Louis is missing Bozak and Thomas, and just centers being out of the lineup. A Pittsburgh team like can play that to the T. So I think they'll attack that weakness and win. Islanders, Rangers. Probably the Rangers. Hard to go against Shesterkin. Yeah, I know. I don't know where everybody is today. I've been on a while, though, so. There we go. I'm going to just come on by myself without the background right now. See how that looks. I got nobody in here, so I'm kind of playing around with it right now. Now, San Jose's made head-scratching moves for a while. They say in San Jose, they say in San Jose that the owner doesn't have any bearing on anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have I have a hard time believing that. I really do. I think the owner runs a show there. He's too afraid. Like, Carlson was a pickup for a big name to bring people to the seats. It's the only thing I can think of. And, you know, I think they have names there that they want to, they just want to have the name so people come. It's all I can think of, because, like, if you're looking at it from, like, actual hockey decisions, they're absolutely terrible. The Carlson trade was brutal right from the get-go. The signing was brutal right from the get-go. He had just come off of a major injury, and there was a pretty good chance it was going to affect him his whole career, yet he still did it. I don't get it. I don't understand that move at all. And then this one here, Hurdle, like, it just reeks of being an average team for the next 10 years. The only thing like I said, that could bail them out, and one thing I have to say about San Jose is that they're really good at drafting and developing players. So if they can draft and develop guys that, hit it out of the park with a couple picks, get a really good pick this year, who knows, I guess. Let me see Tankathon. Where are they sitting now? See, they're at 11th spot right now. They're in 11th spot right now in the draft for the lottery, and they've only got one pick. So, I mean, they want to lose. They need to lose as much as possible. Try to win a lottery and get, like, a really good player in this draft. They got Erickson last time, or I think that's his name. Anyways, but, in a couple of years, maybe they come up and the team starts being a decent team. But I think they're so far away that it just doesn't make any sense. But you got guys blocking with contracts like that? What do you mean, guys blocking? Blocking, yeah, that's the thing. Like, they're too good to be getting picks that they need to be getting, unless they nail the picks. If you get a top 10 pick, they got to nail it. They got to nail it. And that's the one thing I got to say about San Jose, is that they have the ability to do that. Like, they seem to do really good at selecting picks. San Jose seems to be really good. Somebody just came in. Let me know which game you want me to cap for you. I'm giving free picks today for bpalpicks.com. I'll give you a free pick, free capping. Well, if you stay in the chat, I'll even more. But give me a game. But right now we're discussing San Jose. But we'll do, if you put it in the chat, I'll do a free pick for you. We're up 100 units in 2 weeks. And if you don't know what units are, well, probably you're not going to be betting anyways. Or you shouldn't be betting. If you don't know what units are, you shouldn't be You shouldn't be putting any betting. You shouldn't be betting at all. But I guess we could go back. I still think that Florida is going to get Chychrun. I really do. I think that's what it's all about here. I think Florida is going to go all in and get Chychrun. Chychrun's like the perfect guy for them because he's got term. It's not just a rental. It's exactly what they could use on that roster. He fits under their cap. I mean, even if they got to give their first up in 2023, which is tough because that's going to be a really deep draft, Chychrun is a guy, is what you're looking for with that pick. So I think they do it. I think they pull it off before the deadline or at the deadline or whatever. I think he's going to go there. And then you got a pretty stacked lineup in 20 games to build the chemistry with that defense to bring it to where it needs to be. Or, you got 20 games to build that chemistry. And you got next year too. Florida is in a situation where they don't, like, people will be happy really if they win a couple rounds this year. Winning the cup is what you want to do, but it's not like they're in like Toronto or something like that where, it's cup or bust for there. Like right now, they're just building towards that. And they've been poor, not very good for so long that they've been not very good for so long that they be happy just to have a couple rounds to actually get a couple rounds. Oh, really? You got yourself in trouble. Yeah, you got to be smart. You got to do the bankroll thing. You got to be smart when you're doing picks. You got to have a bankroll. And at BPAL Picks, I go through all that if you want, like as a personal help. I think it's Florida is the one that's going to have I think Florida has the most urgency to get Chychrun. I think it makes the most sense to get Chychrun. I think they have the best one of the best prospect pools to get Chychrun. I think their motivation is higher than anyone else. I would think, unless somebody swoops down real quick. Now here's an idea because you just brought up Detroit. What if Stevie Y all of a sudden flies in and says, wait, what's going on here with Florida? What are they offering you? What's going on? Because Detroit needs defense as well. You already said that, like Marino out of Pittsburgh or whatever the case may be. Now, what if they all of a sudden say, hey, we got a Bertuzzi over here. We got a Bertuzzi. We got a much better draft pick than Florida has. And, they got some pretty darn good prospects like Vollander, guys like that. Just a sneaky idea that something that Stevie Yzerman would do would just swoop down and do something like that. I could just see him doing it. I could definitely see Stevie Eisman swooping down and doing something like that. Besides that, I don't know if there's going to be two. Like, I don't think the Rangers are going to. They're already set. Like, there's been talk about the Rangers in Chychrun, and I'm sure they would have interest, but they already have some pretty darn good young defensemen coming up, and they would have to use those to get them. So in their mind, it would depend on how much, do they think Schneider is going to be every bit as good as Chychrun, and a lot of people do, and they may, and if they do, I don't think they'd be interested in giving up as much as Florida could to get him. The Oilers, of course, there's always talk about their defense, but they apparently already asked and said that that's too steep for them. They don't want to give whatever it is they were offering. Chris Russell's going to be in for Edmonton tonight. And I don't think they'd want to go if they don't have to. I don't think Arizona would want to trade him to the West. So in the East, like Ottawa might be on the phone, but it's either the Rangers, the Bruins. I don't think have, like, if Florida's in, Bruins are out, because I don't think the Bruins could compete with Florida for that. Philadelphia could offer, there you go. Never even thought about that. There's been talk about Provorov on his way out. Package deal for Chychrun with Provorov. But for the Coyotes in that deal, I think they're looking for picks and prospects, not more cap coming back. Messing with Stevie Y will get you in trouble, yeah. I still don't understand that. I still don't understand that Leddy trade that happened. Like, he must have been doing Lamoriello or a favor there or something. It would have to be a lot. We're huge on McLeod there. The only way I'm trading McLeod is if I'm getting one, like it would be a part of a bigger deal to get somebody like Schneider or something like that. For me, anyways. Well, what would they do? Who knows? God. Who knows? They may give you McLeod for a second-round pick for all I know, with what the crap that they've done there for however long. Who knows? But, buddy, I think I'm going to head out now. This was fun. I'm going to head out. I'll try this again tomorrow. I think, well, they got NCAA going on right now, too. So I think that's where a lot of the people are right now. But that was fun, man. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go. I got some other stuff I got to do. But I'll talk to you all. I'll talk to you later, Mark. Thanks for coming in. Have a great day, everybody. Okay, bye.